Then the second part of forebrain is the hypothalamus. Firstly, the location of hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is present above the midbrain and below the thalamus, so that the size of the hypothalamus is equal to the ulnar size, and it also serves as the connection between the nervous system and the endocrine system. You know that in endocrine system different types of glands are present. These glands secretes the hormones which can connect the nervous system directly. So hypothalamus, this part of brain, also serve as the connection between the nervous system and the endocrine systems. But besides this, it can also control the pituitary gland secretions. You know that pituitary gland is the part of the endocrine system. This is the major gland which is present in brain part, and this part, hypothalamus, also controls the secretions of the pituitary glands. It also controls the feelings, rage, and the pains. What is rage? And besides these pressures and the sorrow, these all are the feelings which are controlled by the hypothalamus. Rage means gussa, tash, limitless aggression is known as the rage. Then the third part of the forebrain is the cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of the forebrain, and it also controls and performs the many type of functions. The functions which are performed by the cerebrum are the skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles are also interconnected with the cerebrum. The neurons or nerve cells which are present in the skeletal muscles gives message to the cerebrum, and cerebrum perform functions according to these messages, so that skeletal muscles and the functions which are performing through these skeletal muscles are also controlled by the cerebrum. Our thinking and the intelligence, emotions, these are all the factors which are controlled by the cerebrum. And then cerebrum is further divided into the two cerebral hemisphere, and these cerebral hemisphere has the interior and exterior parts. The interior part of the cerebral hemisphere is also known as the olfactory bulbs. In the thalamus, we see that the thalamus receives the sensory information throughout the body except the nose, and so that here the cerebral hemisphere receives the message or nerve impulses from the nose. So this information which is received by the nose, then this is also known as the olfactory bulbs. So the exterior or the upper part of the cerebral hemisphere is also known as the cerebral cortex. Cerebral cortex it is the folded cortex. It is in the form of the different or many foldings. The function of this cortex to fit are the skull part, so that our skull, the fittation of our skull is also controlled by the cerebrum. And the cerebral cortex contains the two matters, gray matter and the white matter. Firstly, cerebral cortex contains the gray matter, and this gray matter contains the cell bodies and the non-myelinated axons. Previously we discussed the structure of the neuron. In structure of neuron we see the dendrites, axons, and the cell bodies. Here we also see that the axons must be the myelinated. When the fatty acid layers are produced, then these axons are the myelinated. When the portion or area of the axon where the fatty layers are not produced, these areas are known as the non-myelinated parts. So that the gray matter of the cerebral cortex contains the cell bodies and the non-myelinated axons. And beneath this gray matter also present is a white matter, and white matter contains the myelinated axons. Hope so class, it is clear now about the cerebrum. It is the major part, and it is also the important long question. The cerebrum is further divided into the four lobes. First one is the frontal, parietal, occipital, and the temporal lobe. Firstly, we see the frontal lobe. The function of the frontal lobe, it controls the motor functions. The motor function which is performed by the motor neurons, and the function, the connection between the two organs in the human body or in an animal body. It also controls the conscious control of our skeletal muscles and coordinates the movement of the speech. Means it also controls the movement of the tongue and the coordination which we through the speaking, also controlled by the frontal lobe. Then the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe contains the sensory areas that receives impulses from the skin, so that these lobes receives the impulses or nerves from the skin.